Hey everyone, so the Ford F-150 Raptor is one of the most capable factory-built trucks ever made, and because of that, it has become very popular and has inspired many companies to develop competitors. Now, the original Raptor was introduced in 2010 as a Supercab only. It was a no-compromise, high-speed off-roader. Now, at the time, it was a gamble for Ford because they were unsure how popular the truck would actually be, but the Raptor far exceeded their expectations, and people lined up to buy them. However, the relentless outcry from customers forced Ford to develop a larger Super Crew version. And by 2011, the Raptor was available in both Super Cab and Super Crew. Now, while the Super Crew had a larger rear seat and a higher tow capacity, the truck gained about 200 pounds in weight and it got about a foot longer. Now, this was definitely an improvement for usability. The problem was it was a downgrade in performance. Now, since people were more concerned about convenience, since most people were daily driving the truck, the Super Crews far outsold the Super Cabs throughout the first generation of the Raptor, which ended in 2014. Now, in 2017, Ford introduced the second generation of the Raptor, and at the time when the truck debuted, it was available in both Super Cab and Super Crew, and that maintained that availability throughout the lifespan of the second generation, which ended in 2020. Now, just like with the first generation Raptors, the second generation Super Crews far outsold the Super Cabs. Dealers would actually rarely order Super Cabs for stock, as the Super Crews, they were far more popular and they were also more profitable since they were a more expensive truck. This basically meant that the Super Cabs had to be custom orders most of the time if you wanted one. And that was true for my truck. I actually had a hard time finding Super Cabs on dealer lots. Now, Ford actually never released the production numbers for the Raptors, but it's believed to be that the Super Cabs make up roughly about 5% of the total Raptor production for Gen 1 and Gen 2. Now, this makes the Super Cabs actually pretty rare. So for 2021, Ford introduced the third generation of the Raptor. And when the truck debuted at the time, it was only available in Super Crew. And when Ford was asked about this, they basically said that the new third-gen Raptor would only be available in a Super Crew.
And crew cab only?
Crew cab only. This year we've gone away from the Super Cab. It just, again, because customer preference just wasn't there. And it's just, you know, when you take a crew cab off-road, it's every bit as good as you know, the shorter wheelbase was. It got that good in the last gen, and honestly, that back seat is very desirable.
It's big.
It's big,
yeah.
And you know, because again, right, you know, you got a lot of people going off-road, but there's still an equal amount of people that want to just use this as a daily driver. And
now, from a financial standpoint, this makes sense. The Super Cab was not as popular, and this means they have to make a lot less parts, since there actually is a pretty significant difference in the parts list between the two trucks. But the problem is it's kind of hard to dispute that a smaller and lighter truck would actually perform better. The question is the Super Cab being discontinued and built in lower numbers going to mean that the truck becomes more collectible and increases in value over time? Now, normally when a truck is new, customers usually want practicality like the larger cab and the higher tow capacity, since it gets used on a more regular basis. But as a vehicle typically gets older and moves into more of a collectible category, buyers usually want rarity and less common options like the Super Cab, and then things like more unique and rare colors that aren't as common. This has been proven with the Ram SRT10. The less practical two-door version of that truck has become more valuable than a equivalent four-door version of the Ram SRT10. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that Ford will change their mind? Do you think that they'll maybe ever bring the Super Cab back? I personally don't think that they will. I think they did this for financial reasons because the trucks just really aren't that popular and it's easier just to build one truck. Do you think that the Super Cabs that were built in the first and second generation will become more desired as time goes on? Or do you think that the trucks, because they really weren't that popular, will just kind of fade away and that the Super Crews will take over from there? So let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.